Thank you, Mr. Cheatham. Mr. Newman did call me, and he is on his way. So that makes we have a quorum. This is the Insurance Committee meeting, Thursday, June the 20th, 2019 at 4:30. We have two things on our agenda. Number one is the discussion action of the Reinsurance Renewal. And Jason Allman's here to give us a report and go over all that with us.
Good evening. I'll try to talk into the mic. I have the biggest problem with that most of the time. I passed out a packet to everybody. Trying to get my hands on my copy. This is the renewal of the administration fee and the reinsurance. It's important to get the reinsurance done today if we can. I've got it down as low as we can. At this point, we don't have anybody else that's close to the offer that I have. On all we can do is have something get worse. If a medical claim situation comes up, somebody winds up with a major transplant or something like that, the terms could change based on a date. I've got this firm until the 26th. So we're trying to get it in front of the committee, in front of the board. The admin fees, we've negotiated down from what they have originally offered, and we're going to go through that to try to give you the options. The reinsurance is the most important part. I mean, if y'all want to take a little bit longer to talk about admin fees, we can. But the reinsurance, since at this point it can only go south from here, from what we've negotiated, I think it's best if we present it and if we can get through it today. But I'm going to go through all the information I put into the packet for y'all. I put some information in there as far as what we did 2007. Excuse me. 2017, and this information is important because we do have a multi-year option available this year with Blue Cross to try to give you some idea of what we've done in the past as far as how the costs have escalated with Blue Cross and what we can do to try to manage that. 2017, Blue Cross initially requested a 2.8% increase. We negotiated it down to 1.4%, which meant about a $25,000 annual increase to what they charged as far as administration charges. That administration charge covers everything from them negotiating contracts with the hospitals and providers to also all the EOBs and everything else they send out. Overall, on a calendar year, it's about $1.9 million, and we'll go through what the actual cost is on that. So in 2017, they gave us a 1.4% increase. I looked at it, if we had anything less than a 3% increase in 2018, the 1-year contract would be the better option as opposed to the 2-year contract. So we stayed with the 1-year contract and went forward. In 2018, they came out with a 0% increase to admin fees, but then they adjusted what they charge per prescription. And it winds up being a fee that comes off of an ever-increasing rebate fee that we get back, but $1.50 per prescription winds up being $6 a month because average employees are using 4 prescriptions each month. So in the end, we were able to negotiate a $3 reduction in the admin fee last year. Okay, so they went up on some fees from prescription drugs, but we were able to get some of the money back by reducing the admin fee $3 by moving forward with Blue Cross. Last year we also had an issue with negotiating some lasers, and I'll talk about that when we go through the renewal as well. When we looked at rebates as far as what we were making in 2013, rebates were $42 per employee per month. 2014, we were receiving $46 per employee per month. 2015, $57.31. 2016, $65. 2017, $74. So far this year, we're up to $94 per employee per month is what we're getting back as far as a rebate. It winds up being close to $4 million a year. as far as what we spend on prescription drugs. Yes, sir.
Is that because our spend is more? Is it based on the spend, or how does that number keep moving up?
It's moving up because of contracts negotiated and also because spend is going up. But when we look at it, the cost, I looked at it, cost is actually lower once we net out the rebates to what we spent in 2014 for prescription drugs. And we've got some claims experience at the back that I'll go through that and illustrate it to you. So in 2018, we recommended that we take the Blue Cross reduction in admin fee of $3, stay with the $350,000 specific deductible. That's y'all's liability per participant. We took a $500,000 laser on one participant. Unfortunately, that gentleman passed away. He did wind up having $800,000 worth of claims, so we did pay the extra $150,000 of liability in the end. But overall, we still saved about $117,000 over what we spent in 2017 on fixed cost, even with that laser. So we come to the 2019 Administrative Renewal. Initially, Blue Cross had sent out a renewal requesting a 7.37% increase to their admin fee. Would have been $39.29 is what the number was per employee per month. We're paying $36.95. I was able to negotiate it down to a 4.88, that's 4.9% increase to the admin fee, which would mean $26,000 annually. We can either accept a one-year rate increase at 1.49 or a three-year rate increase at 3.39. That rate increase would not just be for the, that rate guarantee would not just apply to the medical, but the medical and the dental. And I've done a next page that kind of illustrates what the increase means to you. Currently, at $36.95 and a $3.25 dental administration fee, the school board's paying Blue Cross $1,913,000. The renewal, as it was initially offered, would have put it at $2,052,884. The one-year deal would be $1,939,000, which would be a $26,103 increase. The three-year deal would bring it to $38.40 for the medical admin, and the dental admin would stay at $325. It would be $1,982,000, or $68,817 more each year for the three-year rate guarantee. In the end, since the dental fee remains the same and the only thing increasing would be the medical fee, it's like we would get a 1.78% increase compounded each year. So if we took a 1.78% this year, 1.78% next year, and in the third year, we would equate to what the 3.6% medical or the 3.6% increase means this year. So in the end, it's like we're accepting a 1.78% increase each year for the next 3 years if we take the three-year guarantee. Does that make sense?
Any questions?
Does anybody have questions on that?
Mr. Van Buren?
Does that lock us into Blue Cross Blue Shield for 3 years, or is that just lock in our rate?
That's just to lock in our rates. And I've got, behind this, I've got what we've done over the last 16 years with Blue Cross as far as what the fees have changed. In the end, over 16 years with the rate reduction last year, it winds up being about a 2% increase each year. Okay, over the 16-year period, we had a number of years where it was zero because we did a multi-year and so forth and so on. But in the end, it wound up being about a 2% increase over the 16-year period of time. If I looked at just the last 7 years, it wound up being like 2.3%.
Okay, so this means as long as we have our health insurance plan with Blue Cross Blue Shield, this is going to be our fee for 3 years.
For 3 years.
If we, for some reason, win another option.
Now, if you're thinking about doing another option, all taking the 3 years is going to do is going to make you pay more in the first year.
Right. Right.
So,
but we're not locked. This is not.
No,
this is.
We're not signing a contract saying we're going to be with you for 3 years. We're saying that if we accept this 3-year rate, this is what our rate's going to be.
And it's a little bit lower than we've experienced over the last
16
years.
years.
Okay. Thank you.
So
Does
just,
anybody have any other questions?
we're going to have an option between the 1 year and the 3 years, what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
That's going to be our vote, okay.
Do y'all want to have a discussion, have a vote on the admin fee, and then go on to reinsurance? Or do you want to do as a joint deal?
Let's separate them,
Yeah, let's do one.
because it'll be two separate votes,
Okay.
correct? Tina?
And just looking historically and being able to lock in the rates for 3 years, I know it's a little bit more in the first year, but still being underneath that 2%, I'll make a motion that we go with the 3-year admin fee lock-in.
Have a motion by Ms. Smith. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bachhaus. Committee vote.
Here's a question.
Is there a question?
I'm sorry, may I ask one question?
Sure.
Jason, if I'm reading this correctly, the proposal you have here for our administrative fee is tied to our reinsurance.
It was last year. It is not this year. I made sure to specify that if we change
Okay,
the
there-
reinsurance,
there-
that the rate's the rate.
That's completely
Yes.
out, okay. So there's no, we can take them individually.
Yes.
Thank you,
Sorry.
thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah. Where is I'm not finding the history, the last 16. Is it in here? Or is on the admin
If
fee?
you look at this top of this spreadsheet,
Uh-huh.
okay, at the top section, it goes through and it gives you the admin fee. That is the medical and dental admin fee from all the way back in 2003.
Processing?
Processing, RX, dental admin fee. That's the admin
Okay,
fee there.
okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah. So for the
So
past 7 years, excluding the reduction in 18, it wound up being 2.3%. The past 16 years, including 18, wound up being 2.01%.
So in the end, it's probably not going to make a hill of beans. I mean, really, because what was the reason for the 7% decrease last year?
Because they charge us a fee per prescription, like I said in the 2017 information. Last year, they offered us a 0, but when I looked at what they were going to do on prescription drugs, they included a $1.50 per prescription fee. Okay, so I said, if you're going to charge us an additional fee there, you need to give us something back. So they took $3 off the admin fee.
Okay. So we would still see a negative number
Right,
there.
correct.
Just not maybe 7
Right.
on overall cost.
Well, and in the end, once I get to where we are in the reinsurance, we're going to see a negative cost to fixed cost.
Okay.
Even if you take the 3-year deal, we'll still be $30,000 or $40,000 less than what we paid currently.
Okay.
Anyone else? Ms. Smith put a motion on the table to accept the 3 years. Mr. Bachhaus seconded. Please vote. I think we just vote by hand, don't we? I think I have everyone's vote. Okay, it passes. Thank you.
Okay. The next portion of it is reinsurance. Last year, we changed from HM Life to Excess Re, which is underwritten by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana. They took it on based on a lower premium, and also HM Life was looking to laser one participant to a possibly $1,500,000. So taking the $500,000 laser with a lower rate from Blue Cross Blue Shield last year made sense. When we come in this year, HM Life, or the renewal from Excess Re came in initially with a 24% increase to the reinsurance premium. We got an offer from HM Life that wound up being 5% over current and a laser, and I was able to negotiate it down to a 5% reduction in the reinsurance premium and a $450,000 laser. So if you look at column 1, that's 2017, and it's all based on the same enrollment. So total fixed cost, including lasers, in 2017 cost the plan $3,671,000 down at the bottom in the blue, $3,671,774. In 2018, once the laser with the laser included on the participant, we paid $3,554,697 for $117,000 below. If the lasers met with the current reinsurance offer from Excess Re, we would pay $3,830,000 and $549. That's with the 1-year rate guarantee, and I can tell you what the difference is on that. And to go to HM Life, including the additional liability on the laser, we would pay $3,454,000. So it's actually $100,000 less than what we paid in 2018 with the 1-year rate guarantee. And if you added the 18 numbers and 19 numbers together, we're actually almost $220,000 below what the plan paid in 2017. So it's a 3% reduction in fixed costs. Now, we would give up about $42,000 by doing a 3-year deal on the rates. We'd pay an extra $42,000 this year as opposed to the 1-year deal. So we'd still save in excess of $58,000 from what we paid last year.
Any questions?
If you look at it, the renewal with Excess Re is an 8% increase to fixed costs. The HM Life is a 3% reduction. We have a number of other carriers that bid on the coverage. None of them is even at current, much less reduced. And that's one of the things I do is we go out and we shop the market as far as reinsurance. So when you look at it, we may not be shopping the Blue Cross, but we're shopping the other portions of what it costs to administer the plan. The reinsurance being the second biggest cost as far as fixed cost. We requested proposals from Excess Re, the Renewal, HM Life, HCC Life, Sun Life, Optum, Symetra, Companion Life, Guardian, and Voya.
So Jason, these at the bottom, they just did not give us a proposal at all?
Right,
Just
they
'cause
said they
needed-
weren't competitive with the current rates.
Okay. Have we had HM Life before?
We had HM Life in 2017. We had them
Right.
actually for the 3 years prior to that.
Okay.
My recommendation would be to move to HM Life with a $350,000 specific deductible and the one laser on a person for $450,000 for the savings.
Mr. Bamberg.
Yeah, and this may be you may can answer this question or may need to be frank, I'm not sure. I get you send out to get this information in. Does anybody bid? I mean, this is a big number not to bid, to have our bid laws and all that kind of stuff come into play. Does this, we don't have to do that? I don't know how that works.
I mean, we've done it this way for years as far as just shopping the reinsurance.
Right.
Because it's just a portion of the overall process.
Okay. I'm just making sure we're doing, okay, because it's considered a service. Okay, just making sure we're.
No. Hey, look, I have no idea.
I didn't either, so now we know. You're like, oh. Thanks, sorry about that.
Do I have a motion?
Jason, just to
Go
just to explain the laser plan. So looking at 2018-19, we have that on one individual, and is that something that you can add on another one if a case, or is that has to be renegotiated every year?
It's
or-
negotiated every year.
Okay,
Okay. In some instances, we've been able to buy no laser contracts. Generally, they charge you about 9 or 10% of the premium for that. We have not been able to negotiate one because of the ongoing situations. Last year, there was one individual. A year before that, there was one individual. As far as who the reinsurance companies lasered, We had one person, and unfortunately, a couple of these are prescription drugs, and prescription drugs are things that go on year to year to year. But these are the terms for the 2019 plan year. So there could be nothing changed in it. And by a laser, what happens is they focus on one person with an ongoing claim situation, and that person has a bigger liability to the plan than anybody else. Everybody else the plan has covered is covered at up to $350,000. After that, the reinsurer picks up, the school board pays the first $350,000. In this one situation, they would be $500,000 on that one person.
But Jason, you can have a laser on more than one person.
Yes.
And the company chooses,
Yes.
they look at the record
They look at the
history.
ongoing stuff, and we negotiate. We try to make sure we get the best pricing for the school district and keep the liability as far as we can to a minimum. In this situation, unfortunately, a person's taking a drug that's $27,000 every 20 days, and it winds up being $450, depending on how many times he gets the prescription drug, $450 to $500,000.
Any other comments with this?
I'll make the motion that we accept the recommendation of our consultant and go with HM Life for our reinsurance for this next year, and I believe it's a 2-year. Did you say a 2-year?
No, this is a one-year rate.
Just a 1-year
1 year.
rate for the 1 year.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Bullard and a second by Ms. Smith. Committee vote. All passes. Okay.
You can see behind that information as far as this next spreadsheet list, what we've done as far as reinsurance premium and claims, and this goes back to 2011. In the end, if we took and combined everything over the past 7, 8 years, we've gotten more money out of the reinsurance carrier than what we've paid in. We've actually got $800,000 additional back in the end. And, you know, that number would be greater, except for this year, we've actually had a very good year so far. So there's only 2 claimants that have gotten over the $350,000 deductible this year. We keep them in check by shopping it each year and making sure that everything's competitive. And that's why we run into some instances where people can't be competitive, because we are keeping them as low as we possibly can.
Any comments, questions about that?
In the back of your booklet, there's information on the claims. The first section is current 2018 plan year, and it breaks it down based on the enrollment and based on the cost. Down at the bottom, we net out what we received back from reinsurance and what we've received back so far in the form of rebates. And so far this year, the cost per employee per month, all net, including medical and dental, is $992.82 per covered retiree or employee or retiree. And that winds up being a negative 0.35% cost to claims as opposed to last year. Last year was a 4.1% increase over 2016.
What page?
2016 was a 5% over 2015. As far as claim cost, 2015 is when we changed benefits. It actually reduced costs by 11% in 2015. But you can look through it and you can see the information on here. In the red, you can see what the rebates were per employee per month. This year it's $92.08. Last year it was $74.04, $65.19 in plan year 2016. 2015, $57.31, $46.71. So the rebates are escalating at a faster rate than what the cost of prescription drugs are increasing. Does anybody have questions on the claim costs? We do have the individual divisions broken down by active retirees with Medicare, retirees without Medicare, and COBRA participants, if you want to look into that and see.
Could you explain COBRA? Why we have some on COBRA?
COBRA is a federal law that requires that somebody that leaves your employment be offered coverage or be offered to continue coverage for up to, in many instances, 18 months, in some instances 29 or 36 months once they leave your employment. And generally the only people taking it are people that are having medical claims. So you wind up having a much more costly per participant deal. Right now we only have, I think, 2 people participating as COBRA participants. Sometimes we've had 5, 6, 20 in September right before they get on to the new school district or wherever they move to coverage. But it's a federal law that requires that you offer them to maintain your coverage for a period of time. They have to pay the full premium, and we get COBRA rates set each year actuarially so that they're in tune with the cost of the plan.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions?
Anyone?
That's the end of my presentation.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
We appreciate your knowledge and all of your work that you do for us. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, that adjourns the Insurance Committee meeting.